Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, January 9th, 2020. I'm Keith Tebow. I want to wish you all a very happy new year and hope you had a great holiday with your family and friends. We were off the past couple of weeks. Hope you enjoyed our year-end look at news in Fall River in 2019, but now it's 2020 and we're here to move on. On tonight's program, we have complete coverage of Monday's Fall River inauguration held at Durfee High School. We also have feedback from Governor Charlie Baker on how the image of the city will now improve as a result of Fall River's new political leaders. And we hear from one of our U.S. congressmen on the current situation in Iran. But first, let's check out the news headlines of the week. Coming in again this week after a 2-week hiatus and in living color, Phil Devitt from the Herald News. Phil, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you, Keith. Good to be seen. Good to see you.
Yeah, we've been trying to work out the video portion of this for a while. We actually had a couple of weeks off there, so I think we've worked out the technical bugs, and hopefully we'll be seeing and also hearing from Phil in the coming weeks as we move on into 2020. All right, Phil, let's get right to it. Fall River has a new city government this week. It held its inauguration ceremonies at BMC Durfee High School. Paul Coogan officially inaugurated as mayor. 9 city councilors also inaugurated, 6 school committee members. And usually at an event like this, Phil, it's sort of like everyone feels good, energized, and looking forward to a new year.
Absolutely, Keith. You know, it's you have that usual energy of new year, new decade, new me, new you. But also in Fall River, there's the added weight of moving on from a troubled administration. Paul Coogan taking the reins as mayor on Monday, committing to being passionate, open, honest with his constituents, but also telling people, look, I need your help. I can't do this alone. Really committing to being transparent. And comments from other people I thought were interesting at the inauguration as well. You had City Council President Cliff Ponte, saying that calling the city a laughingstock at one point, now saying, we overcame it. And also comments from Lieutenant Governor Polito saying that we waited a long time for this moment. And Representative Congressman Keating was there as well, said words to the same effect. So what we have now is a new administration, but also state leadership and a legislative delegation kind of ready to roll up their sleeves and work with a new administration after kind of stepping back.
Yeah, let's take a listen, if we could, from Mayor Coogan during his inaugural address on Monday.
It's an honor to be standing in front of you at Durfee, where my career began, and where I am now, your newly sworn-in mayor. Thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate it. From this point on, we should all be focused on one thing: how we're going to help Fall River. I say this because we've had our problems with mayors, haven't we? We have had the distinction of having 8 mayors in 12 years, and despite these changes, little seemed to change. Our politics became more and more heated and personal, and we simply lost our focus. While we were distracted by politics, other very important issues like the opioid crisis, crime, infrastructure, taxes were not receiving the required attention. It was unfortunate, but that is all in the rearview mirror now, and it's time we all moved on. We are all good people, and we can't let politics as usual continue. Most of us share the same values. We work hard. Some people even work 2 jobs. We save, we love our children, and we support our aging parents. And most of us don't have lofty ambitions. We get up every day and we try to do the best we can. We do the right thing and we never quit. We've been toughened by our tough history, and most importantly, we are resilient. We live in our neighborhoods. We know our neighbors, and we take care of each other in times of need. We are a healthy, thriving city, and we need solid citizens.
Mayor Coogan from earlier this week, and Phil, again, it's always those opportunities where everyone says they're going to work together, and we'll have to wait and see how that's going to happen. But I don't know if you were at the inauguration on Monday, but it seemed like a lot of people there's a lot of weight off their shoulders collectively, if you will, because of you said the issues facing former Mayor Jazio Correa earlier this year. So we'll have to see how things play out as we move forward. And speaking of moving forward, the mayor this week also started rounding out his staff that we'll be hearing from in terms of the mayor's office. Ann O'Neill Souza will be serving as Mayor Coogan's chief of staff. You may remember that Ms. Souza was also the chief of staff to former Mayor Will Flanagan. And we're also going to have a new corporation counsel as the mayor this week appointed attorney Alan Rumsey as corporation counsel. Do we know much about Mr. Rumsey at all, Phil?
So Alan Rumsey is a familiar name to, I would imagine, some people here in Fall River. He has served the city, I believe, on some boards, commissions. I don't have those in front of me at the moment. Yeah. But obviously is a law man as well, having worked with the Bristol County District Attorney's Office in the past. And obviously somebody that Mayor Coogan respects and feels is ready to do the job that Joe Macy recently did.
Right. And also in the mayor's office as a special assistant, Sarah LaPointe. Sarah used to be a legislative aide to State Representative Carol Fiola, so she's going to be taking the role, I would suspect, that was held by Monica Souza in the past. And still out there, Phil, is still what will happen with the city administrator's position. I believe the mayor has said that there is a posting for the position, and there'll be someone in that position soon. Any details on any timeline and when that could be expected?
Don't have a timeline on that. For all indications are that the mayor is actively looking for people who are going to best serve this administration, and people who are really going to connect him with the people in the community. For example, Sarah LaPointe, as you mentioned, who is now, the special assistant. Mayor Coogan sees this as the role to be a liaison with, community groups to really get a sense of what people want to see happen in the community, and then bring that back to the mayor. So he's interested in people who are going to be boots on the ground, so to speak. Right.
All right. Well, other items in the news this week, we've again talked about over the past couple of years, the fate of the King Philip Mill and project to renovate the area and create some local housing options for individuals. Well, this week, Joe Good reports in the Herald that there were some problems with asbestos and that the demolition has been stopped there. We talked a bit about this a while back, Phil, that there seemed to be delays in the project, but now it looks like it's a little more definitive as to what was the cause of those delays.
Yeah, Keith, so I guess right now where we're at, this appears to be a waiting game of sorts, and it has been since the late fall when the state shut down demolition work at the mill site. The concern being over asbestos and the obvious danger that exposure to asbestos can cause. So Mass DEP tells us that stabilization work followed. It was completed at the tail end of 2019. What that consisted of was removal of asbestos from the site, cleanup of debris in the area. We understand it had been a little bit messy, and then fitting the debris with polyurethane sheeting to keep it in place. So it was kind of an elaborate process. And now if you go to the site, there's fencing, there's red tape, there are warning signs about asbestos on the property. The developer of the site remains optimistic despite setbacks. He says that he's planning to build single-family homes on the property, as well as public access to Cook Pond. But it remains to be seen, Keith, when work can be done to resume on the site. An investigation is ongoing with the state, according to Department of Environmental Protection spokesperson we spoke to this week. So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that there'll be delays, and usually with the delays, costs end up going up, and hopefully Mr. Kafori, who is the developer of that site, will continue to move forward and provide that much needed, not only housing stock, but also access to Cook Pond, which we've talked about before, that will be a public space for for people in the South End to see, and we hope that the project will continue. All right, finally today, Phil, we need to talk a little media shop, as it was announced this week in the paper that the longtime Herald News building in downtown Fall River has been sold. That will mean there'll be a little bit of adjustment to be made by some of the staff there at the Herald, as some of the editorial staff will be moving temporarily to your partner and sister organization, the Standard Times in New Bedford. Tell us about what you know about the sale of the building, what will happen for you and other reporters, and obviously with the hope of coming back to Fall River very soon.
Sure. So one thing I can say right off the bat is that Herald News is moving its location, but it's not leaving the city. It's not closing. It's not changing its focus. It's still going to be Fall River newspaper and news organization. So that's very good. But we announced a while back that our building had been for sale. It had been for sale for some time, and it looks like we're close to closing on a sale of the building, which means we have to be out relatively soon. In order to keep up our operations here behind the scenes, we need a place to kind of put pen to pencil and do all the computer work, and that's going to happen temporarily at our sister paper in New Bedford. But we're also told that the company is looking to lease space here in downtown Fall River. Obviously, it's more important to be here. And in the meantime, things that aren't going to change are you're still going to see reporters out and about here in Fall River, at Government Center, in the schools, in court. So that won't change. But it remains to be seen where we'll end up, but we think we'll end up in a more suitable, modern space. This is an old building. We love it very much. It's a time to evolve a little bit, I guess. So,
yeah.
But don't worry, the Herald News isn't going anywhere.
Right, and I know when we spoke earlier this week that it was actually a good part of the building that's not even being utilized anymore. So it was smart of the Herald News and its owners to look at selling the building. I think one of the things that will be missed, depending on what the new owners do, is the iconic logo on the side of the building, which you see off the highway. If that is taken down, which you would assume probably would be, it'll be something that will be missed, I think, by many of us who have grown up here and driven by 195 day in and day out. All right, Phil, what's coming up over the next few days?
So we're in the beginning of the year slump, I guess you could call it. It's been a little quiet since the inauguration, but that gives us time to do some deeper dives into very important stories. And one of the ones we're working on for this weekend is the latest look at the opioid epidemic and its toll on Fall River, neighboring communities, Bristol County, and Massachusetts. So stay tuned for that.
All right, sounds good. Hope to see you again next week. All right, Phil, take care.
Take care. Thank you.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Medical Office Manager. Primacare, located at 277 Pleasant Street, is looking to hire a full-time medical office manager responsible for overseeing the daily operations of the practice and management of the employees. Job number 130-25268. Warehouse Associate, Kellsport Industries Incorporated, located at 22 Boomer Street, is urgently looking for a full-time warehouse associate with basic computer knowledge to ship, receive, pick orders, and stock shelves. Job number 130-25936. Architectural Assistant, Stark Architects Incorporated, located at 126 Cove Street, is in need of a full-time architectural assistant to develop project documentation models in Revit and prepare design and construction drawings using information provided or data obtained from research activities. Job number 130-20575. Liberty Utilities, located at 36 Fifth Street, is looking to fulfill the following full and part-time positions. Customer Field Service Supervisor, job number 130-27034. Gas Distribution Engineer, job number 130-26843. St. Anne's Hospital, located at 795 Middle Street, is also looking to fulfill the following full and part-time positions. Emergency Room Technician, job number 13022852. Ultrasound Technician, job number 13022844. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. Continuing our coverage now of this week's Fall River inauguration. 9 city councilors were sworn into office this week, among them newcomer Trot Lee, who was the first African American to serve in that role.
It's something that we knew when we ran, in the beginning, when I first ran, that there wasn't much of that at all, if any, diversity when it came to that. So I do appreciate the fact that it wasn't looked at in this election, that they just looked at me as a person, and I appreciated that because it was a predominantly, obviously, white electorate. So I just appreciate that. I appreciate that that wasn't a thing.
Now, you voted for Linda Pereira for vice president. Tell me why.
So I literally told everyone as soon as I was elected. I texted Cliff, I talked to Linda at the soup kitchen. I talked to a few people about it, that I was going to vote according to the ballot, but also I'm not going to vote for myself because that's my first time there. So that was that.
Also, another newcomer this year is Christopher Peckham, who shared his feelings about participating in the inauguration ceremony.
I wasn't nervous up until walking on the stage, and then you look out and you see everybody, you see the support. I'm just ready to move forward.
Well, what committees do you want to be on?
Public Safety Committee, first and foremost. Public safety, obviously being a passion of mine, we need to address that. That's one of the top things we need to address.
Now, tell us why public safety for you.
I work in law enforcement. I have about 18 years now, and the public safety in the city, it's gotten worse, and it needs attention.
Along with the mayor and city council, 6 school committee members also took their oath of office this week. Among them, longtime member Mark Costa, who's looking forward to working with his committee, including all the new members.
So we'll have our first meeting next week. We're ready to go. I'm excited about that. It'll be our first time as a group together with our new mayor, Mayor Coogan, chairing us. It's exciting times, but we gotta shift gears and jump right into our budget. As you know, our budget needs to be presented to City Council sooner and sooner every year. We're really excited about the state assistance, Student Opportunity Act money is really going to be a game changer for Fall River. We're looking to do some great things with improving and increasing our number of pre-K slots in the district. We're going to do some other fantastic things for special needs, expand our services for English language learners. We got a full agenda. We're ready to go. We're pumped. It's a great day for the city of Fall River.
Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker agrees with Costa that Inauguration Day was a great day for the city of Fall River. We caught up with the governor a few weeks before the inauguration ceremony and asked if he believes the image of Fall River will improve now that a new administration has taken office.
Look, I think the Lieutenant Governor and I have always found Fall River to be a terrific community. We've both been here quite a bit over the course of our previous 4.5, 5 years. And I do think that for many people down here, the back and forth associated with the previous mayor was just a distraction, and it was exhausting, and it made it hard to get commitments on other things going forward. I had several people here who are either on the school committee or newly elected say they're looking forward to being able to implement the Student Opportunity Act, which they believe, I think correctly, has really big potential for communities like Fall River. And obviously we're looking forward to working with the new administration after we all get sworn back in January.
We'll have more FRC Media News after this.
Thank you for considering a homeless pet today. I hope you enjoy what you're about to see, and as always, please feel free to contact the shelter before coming down to make sure that the pets you're viewing are still available for adoption. We can be reached at 508-677-9154.
Welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Sherlock. Sherlock is a 4-year-old Chihuahua mix. He's a quiet little guy. He's a little shy. He can be kind of timid at first, but once he warms up to you, he'll make a really good lapdog. Sherlock would probably do best in a home with older children or even a home with no children. He would thrive much better in a very calm, quiet home. Sit on your lap and be your best friend. If you are looking for a friend to hang around the house with on a rainy afternoon or even a sunny afternoon, Sherlock might be the guy for you. Sherlock seems to do well with other dogs, and he doesn't seem to mind cats. So if you want to say hi, come on down to Forever Paws Animal Shelter and check him out.
Today we have Layla. Layla over here is a very outgoing 2-year-old all black cat. She absolutely loves to get attention. She can be often very playful too. She'd be good with children, she'd be good with other cats. She's here in one of our communal rooms. She has a nice temperament. We have not dog tested her, but I'm gonna guess she would do quite well with them because she's pretty even keel, pretty inquisitive. So if you'd like to meet Layla yourself, come on down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
Tensions continue to mount as the United States remains on high alert in its relationship with Iran. We spoke with Congressman Bill Keating this week about his concerns.
The U.S. does not want a war with Iran. Iran does not want war with the U.S. Iraq does not want to be the staging ground after all they've been through for this kind of conflict. And those are our allies. And it's disheartening to see them in Parliament ask us to leave when we have the common interest of fighting ISIS. So there's concerns not just in the Middle East, but around the world for what has occurred. America has to lead and not follow. And that means acting with partners. A concern of mine that I've raised time and time again, our greatest strength as a country is the way we operate with coalitions as leaders. There's a distance now with our closest allies, and we can't, go forward and deal with our country's security and international security without bringing back that teamwork that's there, that coalitions that's there. That's something I've been involved personally with and will continue to. So we have to move forward from where we are now. But you will see Congress act this week to take back the authority the Constitution has given them as a safeguard over any kind of major actions and bring our country to war.
What kind of retaliation could Iran have against us at this point?
Well, the official, threats have been one of geared to the military. However, at home they have great cyber capabilities. You could see disruptions there, cyber types of attacks here.
That'll do it for this edition of FRC Media News. You can watch FRC Media News on Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m. and online at our website, frmedia.org. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday.